I do hope you're counting rather loud where you are as we get to join in. And welcome. Oh my lorks or naughty. Just ignore the title everywhere. This is not about Zoom fatigue. Today is all about how do we get the results we're after with online events. And what are the key things you really know? So thank you so much for being here. I hope you're going to enjoy the show. Hope there's going to be some great value about it. I am going to look for some questions, so head to the comments, pop a few questions in there if you have them. You may choose, if you're in the events industry or you run different things in your organization, you might want to start a watch show so you can get other people involved. Maybe tag some people who want to be part of it to find out what are the key things you need to know to make sure your event really happens. So I'm Warwick Merry. I am a doubly certified virtual presenter and a certified speaking professional. And the reason that you can tell this is because this little bit of happiness comes up. Way, there it is. Look at that. That's superb. So that shows you exactly what's going on. So, and it's my joy and happiness to be here today to be talking to you about some of the fun and exciting things that are going on in the events industry. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Too many people I know at this point in time are just throwing online events out there. They're doing the whole, they're just throwing mud at the wall and hoping it sticks. They're doing online events for the sake of online events. There are some people who are desperate for business, and so they're doing all this free stuff in the hope that someone pays attention and then offers them money. Other people are thinking, well, we better get online. And so they'll do the basics to get online, but it just doesn't quite work. And half the reason is they haven't got the foundations right. Maybe you've been to an event. Maybe you've been to a webinar, a vodcast, a live streaming, and you don't know why you're there. And it feels like the presenter doesn't know why they're there afterwards. That's half the reason. So what I want to do today is go through some of the things that you need to make sure you get right to make sure your event's good. So welcome to the Get Events Online stream. I'm hoping that's going to bring you a bit of joy, happiness, and a bit of fun. Let me start by one of my favourite business stories. I learnt this business story very early on, and it has had a very big impact on everything that I do in business and in life. And you might have heard of this book. You might want to track it down if you haven't heard of it. It's called Beyond the Looking Glass, or Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And the bit I'm talking about is, of course, the Cheshire Cat. Now, the Cheshire Cat is just a fabulous little character, and Alice was walking through the forest and she was lost, and basically she came across the Cheshire Cat and said, I've lost. Which way should I go? And the Cheshire Cat, being a wise cat, said to Alice, well, where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up? Where are you heading? And Alice said, well, I don't really know. It doesn't really matter where I end up. And so the Cheshire Cat said, well, it doesn't matter which way you go because you're bound to end up there. Very simplistic story, but one that I think really resonates for a lot of people in that they don't know where they're going and they don't know what they want out of their event, and so it just sort of goes anywhere. It tries to do anything, if not everything, all at once. That is the first key of having a successful online event is, what's the purpose? Paul McCarthy, who is one of my many business coaches, his voice stays in my mind, and he says to me, for what purpose? And that is a key question on so many different things. For what purpose? So if you're holding an event, what's the purpose of the event? Is it just a meeting? Is it a meeting to get a sense of the team? Is it a standing inspiration meeting at the start of the day with your sales crew? Is it a 45-minute power session you're running online because you've got some principles you want to get across and share with your tribe? Is it you're trying to build your mailing list? What is the reason? Too often, so many people attend meetings and host meetings that have no reason. There's no objective to it whatsoever. And it really is kicking back to Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. What are you here for? What are you trying to get out of this? If you don't know why or the reason for it, or you can't measure it, you don't need to hold it. It's like turning up to a meeting that has no agenda. It's like no agenda, you don't need to go, because what are we talking about? What are we here for? Sometimes you'll have meetings, and I know I run my What's Up Wednesdays that you're welcome to join. Just go to warwickmerry.com/Wednesdays and find out more. They are a meeting about nothing, purposefully intended to be a meeting about nothing. When the coronavirus kicked in, people were like, I need to connect. The whole purpose is to just connect. We talk about whatever you want. It's not recorded. There's no judgment. And a lot of people have found that it's an essential part of their week because it's a place they can go to just turn off. That is its purpose. So it doesn't have to have a noble purpose that does amazing things, but it has to have a purpose. What is the outcome? Who are the attendees that you want to be there? How will you measure the success of it? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Get Events Online live stream. You know, what's its purpose? So for me, and I'm going to be completely honest here, I run this because I want to showcase my expertise in online events, in the strategy and the operation of online events. I'm also a geek, so I love playing with all the little toys that I've got. I also want to create a knowledge repository for people who use my services so I can say, hey, here's some quick information you can access to. I do want to increase my scope, so I want to get more subscribers on both my YouTube and my Facebook pages. So these are the kind of things that I'm doing and part of my strategy for it. Now, I'm not expecting you to watch one 10-minute video and go, oh, that's fantastic, let's book him. But what you'll find is after you've seen a couple, you might like my style, you might get involved, you might reach out, ask me some questions. That's when you might say, yeah, let's get this man on board. He's going to be great for the event that we want to run. That's my strategy and purpose. That's what I'm after. So for you with your online event, now it could be just a team meeting. It could be a strategy session. It could be a 2-day event. It could be a half-day sales team meeting. I've just got off the line from someone talking about what they want to achieve with their 2 half-day sales meetings. So it can be this kind of thing. You've got to really look at, what am I doing this for? What do I want to get out of it? And how will I measure its success? If you haven't got those things sorted, don't do it. Make sure you get those things and those events sorted. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your time, the delegates' time. And I think we've all been on events going, what's this for? We might walk away from an hour-long meeting going, I am no better off than before I went on to it. So you've got to do the foundations to make sure you're right. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to quickly whip over to Facebook and see what questions, if any, have come up over there. So bear with me as I have a bit of a look, and no questions have come up. So that's a very easy thing for me to answer. If you have other questions or content or comments that you want to make, please feel free to do so on any of the recordings. I'd love to get back to you and let you know. Thanks for being part of the Get Events Online show. I'm going to be here again next Thursday at 11 a.m. and I'll talk to you about some of the delights of events. If there's a particular topic that you want to talk to me about or find out more about, please get in touch. Also, the best way to get in touch is, of course, via the website. So head to the website. It'll tell you a little bit more information about the kind of stuff that we will cover and make it all delightful and good. Alrighty, thank you so much for being here today. It's been an absolute joy and pleasure to be here, and I look forward to your company next time on the Get Events Online show. Thanks very much.